What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Y'all should be doing good. And we're going to bring it down. Little flame there. We might need this tonight, so we're going to kick it on. All right, I think we're good. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Jenny, how are you? Thinking time. Colleen, Bayo, cruising. How are you? Matt, what's happening? All right, let's get going tonight. We're gonna have some fun. Get my little black lights ready. So we finished this guy not too long ago. And I forgot to put it together, this little wine topper guy. We're going to bring it out. We're going to use side view for the moment. I forgot about this guy. I completely lost track of him. And there we go. We're going to go to side view. Yeah, this guy kind of disappeared. So we got the Lucy in it, with the shimmer and the glow in the dark. So this little, like, wine topper dude, I completely forgot about him. Then we got that. He was buried away. I was cleaning my studio. Yeah, this little wine topper dude. I completely forgot about him. You can see a little bit of that Lucy popping in there with the UV, and then definitely that glow in the dark. I don't know where we're going to put him. We'll put him somewhere temporarily. I don't even have a spot for him. I need to develop some spots, some like holders. Yeah, I don't even have one. Holy moly. I think that might be too top heavy for it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll just bring him out every once in a while. Because I don't see I have any holders available. All right. There he is. We're going to go back to main screen. Here we go. And there we are. So yeah, we got this guy. It is the little squid octopus wine topper. And he came out okay. He's got a lot of color to him. So we bring it out, and, whoop, nope, wrong one. There we go. So now you can see all the colors bouncing through there. He's got definitely some shimmer to it, glow in the dark there, and then the Lucy up top here. He is very UV reactive. Very, very UV reactive. In fact, I'm going to build a little container for him while we're at it. Let's just build a little stand for it. What's up? How you doing? KCH, Colleen, thank you so much. J-Dub, what's happening? Leslie, good evening. Okay, so we're going to build a little stand for that guy real quick. I'm just going to knock it out, and we'll make it happen. We'll use this. Bring it down and out. What's up, Wild? Okay. Forgot we're on the wrong view again. There we go. So yeah, we're going to build a little container for this guy. So like a little wine topper holder. Haven't really ever made one before. Let's go ahead and do one. Bring it out here. Seal that off. There we go. So the wolf is ending in a couple hours. Thank you everybody who has bid on it so far. The wolf is up for auction, ends in a couple hours. I think 7 o'clock, which would be an hour and 20 minutes. And we're going to taper this down. And then we'll get into some Marblicious tonight. We'll make a few funky marbles. There we go. All right, first things first, we have to preheat this thing. Oh, it got too big up here. Got way too big. And here we go. Almost done here, preheating this. Okay. So we're just making a tiny little container, a vessel for the wine topper. So you can store it when it is not in use. And it can be kind of like a little decoration around your house, kitchen, wherever you want to store it. Wine cabinet, wherever you want to put it. So we're going to make this little container and it will fit in there perfectly. Like that. There we go. All right, we're good. Taper this down just a little. Click on next flame. See how far it needs to go down. Not too far. Give it a little curvature here. So we eliminate that straight tube look. So we just kind of tapered it in a little, gave it that hourglass look. We'll bring it out here. And smooth that off. So I think for this one, since we got the kind of the octopus look to it, I think I want to create like a sea bottom on it. So when it fits in, it looks like it's on the sea bottom. I think we'll make it that way. I'll park that guy there. And I just happen to have some random colors here that will be appropriate. Yes. Yep. And yes. All right, these three will do it. A little tight. All right, let's get it done. So we're going to add in a little color on here, spiral it up, make it look good, kind of like a sea bottom. And then that wine topper will fit in there perfectly. Actually, I know exactly where I'm going to put the wine topper. Hold on. For display. Let that sit for a second. You go right there. So that's what we're building it for, that guy. Actually, we're going to zoom in on this too. Let's create a zoom so you guys can see the color happening in real time. I think this view works out really well for this. Oh, thank you. Tell Kevin thank you. And here we go. Got the first 1K. Oh, yes. Thank you, Rain. Here we go. So we're going to spin this color up. Here we go. Oh, you guys can't see it that well. Holy crap. All right, you guys are missing out on that. Hold on. Let me see if I can adjust the camera here. How am I going to do this? Give me one sec. I'm going to try and adjust the camera just a wee bit. Got to unlock it. I don't like the way it's looking right now. Is it locked? I'm sorry, I just got to move it around just a touch. Yeah, it's locked in place. I'm trying to get you a better view, but it's not working. Let me move it just a touch. Let me see if I can move it just a little. Nope, wrong way. There, right about there. I think we're good. So let me update the PTZ here. Okay. So let's see if you guys can catch the action a little better this way, because you were missing out on the other view. Yeah, now you guys can see. Much better. All right, we're going to add the third color on here. And there we go. Now we got multiple colors bouncing through. So we'll bring it up, and there is the color lines running through. Red Squeak, thank you. We're going to take that, and we're going to do that finger painting technique real quick. We're going to go pretty fast on this. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So essentially, we're going to take those lines and we're going to mix them up. We're just going to spiral them all around, create this craziness. You're watching from Belgium. Thank you for saying that. Now I feel like I'm worldwide. All right, here we go. So we're going to pin all these lines down. Like that. So now you can see we kind of just striped it all the way down. We're going to come in and mix it up. And I'll show you exactly where we're at. We're just kind of hauling butt here. This is like non-tutorial mode. All right, so now you can see where the lines are straight there. We created that pattern. And then when they're finger painted, we're blending all those lines together. So we're mixing it from that to that. We're just going to do that all the way around. Then we're going to spiral it up again. Just a tiny bit. just to mix things up. Ooh, getting warm there. This rod's getting short. All right. So we're going to come off to the side view for a temporary moment. There we are. So you guys get a little side view there. So now we have that created all the way around. As it cools down, you'll start to see those little patterns in there. But on the very end here, it's pretty ugly. So we're going to take that and we're going to spiral it up real quick. We're making a little holder for the wine topper. It's like most people, they buy their wine toppers and then they put it in a drawer, or they get hidden. I want it on display, so you should be able to display your wine bottle topper as a piece of art. And nobody will really be able to tell that it's a bottle topper, to be honest. All right, we're going to bring it back out, bring this up. So this is the guy that we're going to be working on right there for that little bottle stopper. So it's just a little vessel for it. And that way, like I said, you can display it, you can put it out, and it's going to have its own little home. Okay, we're just fusing all this in, getting it to blend. We're going to blow it open. And it doesn't have to be big, but this bottom definitely has to be weighted. Okay, here we go. So there we are. We got a little genie bottle started. We're going to bring it over and do a little satisfying push. There we go. Then we got to do a little indent in here. So it sits flat all the time. So that little curvature in there, it's just like a wine bottle, literally. No pun intended on that one. So then we let that sit for a second. Let's take a look at the colors. Okay, I just melted the hell out of something. Hopefully it's not me. You can tell when you're melting things and you can smell it. I burnt something. All right, there we go. See all those colors bouncing through? There's the bottom. So I wanted it to look kind of oceanic. And the reason is we're going to take this guy and it's going to fit into that bottle right there. So that's going to pop in there. And this is the item we're going to be using it with. So one last time here, you can see the kind of cracking wine bottle topper. And then it is glow in the dark. So it has the glow in the dark there and then the Lucy up in the top. So it has the Lucy head and then glow in the dark like that. It is an insane little build. All right, let's get this thing separated. Gonna need some tools though. There we are. All right, we are good to go. Grab a little claw tool here. All right, let's do the insane flame cut. This is a little container, a little vessel for the wine topper. I'll show it to you in just a second. But I got to do this flame cut real quick. This part's a hell of fun. This is a good time. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I went a little big on that one just to show off. There we go. We went a little big. This is stupid big, but hey. I wanted it to look hella cool. So we went a little obnoxious on it. Sorry. All right, let's zoom it in and you guys can see the cutting action. Here we go. You can purchase for sure. Yeah, this whole setup is a complete... Oh, you mean the balloon? No. Yeah, that was way thin. All right, here we go. We're going to slice and dice. I guess if glass blowing doesn't work, I could be a moyer. There we go. And there we got that little curly Q. I think these things are freaking cool. I like these little curly Qs. So now we got the we got that all mellowed out. We're going to flatten it a little. And then we just use this to flare it open a tiny bit. Okay, we want a little bit of a punch to it, a little flare. Like that. Let's smooth it out just a touch. Okay, I'm going to show you what the whole thing we just did. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what we did, what we're working on, and we'll go from there. We're going to have to do it from the side view. Okay, this is the little vessel. Okay, it is just a vessel. We got some oceanic themes on the bottom. Okay, we got those ocean colors like that. And then it fits this. So this wine topper here with that little base is going to fit into the vessel. So it'll be one piece when it's all done and cooled off. That way it just kind of slides in and done. And yeah, that's the wine topper there. We're going to actually leave this out. Won't take long to cool. I'll temper it later. Yeah, Kevin's pens are very cool. So we're just going to leave that sit. Hopefully it doesn't crack. Oh, Sparky right there. And bring it back out. There we go. So yeah, that is the wine topper. That is the vessel it will fit into. One last time showing it. So you can see it's kind of like a Kraken dude. Then that's the base, and then it does fully glow. There. We'll let it cool off and see what happens. So tonight is cool night. This is Marblelicious. My chair is being a pain in the ass. And I have a whole bunch of little bits, little random shorts and bits. And sometimes I like to take Marblelicious night. Oh yeah, I'll put it in the kiln later. It doesn't need it right now, but it goes in the kiln. So we'll take random little bits of color. Let me just grab a lighter version here, purple. We'll take all these colors and we're going to mix them into random marbles, okay? We're just going to start mixing stuff up. In fact, we'll throw a bunch of colors up here, and you guys get to vote. Let's just throw a whole bunch of stuff up here. I just cleaned my bench too. I feel like I'm doing a bad thing with this. Put that there. And I got this skinny amber purple. Okay. Y'all ready to participate? Type 1 in the chat if you want to participate in tonight's adventures, which means you will be selecting colors. As part of the adventure, you guys get to be interactive. Oh, good. We got lots of takers tonight. That's good. All right, first things first, we got to get rid of this crack. I'm going to show you. We'll pull it in tight. There we go. So we got a little crack right there. And this crack is also bad. The other crack is bad too, but this is bad. So there is a little tiny crack right there. We got to work that out. It may shatter. Yep, see? Told you. See? Look. I'm going to zoom in on this. Hopefully, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. See? Start shattering when it has that little crack in it. See that? But we're mixing it all up anyway. Trying to buy one I make? Go to fieryguy.com. Yeah, no to crack. Bad. All right, so first things first, we're going to gather a little bit of material here. We also have to prep our drill because we're going to need a drill mix tonight. We're going all out. We're going all out tonight. If I were a drill, there we go. We are going all out tonight. Okay. So we got a drill. We're set. We're drillicious, ready. We've got a little clear. So first color of the night. We have a choice between, oh crap, we do actually have it. We have teal, green, and purple to start off with. Teal, green, or purple as a base. You guys figure it out. Teal, green, purple. Teal, green, purple. Purple in the middle, teal on the bottom. That is actually a teal. I'll let you guys rock and roll it. So we're going to keep it going. We're going to make it very, very fast here. Ooh, purple's coming up. Oh, we got lots of purple. Teal's a second, but purple is coming up. Yeah, I think purple is kind of... Oh, teal's got a strong second here. It's getting close. I'm trying to look at it just a little bit more, a little bit more. I think purple just barely took it. So we're going to add some purple in. But it doesn't mean teal is completely out. Okay? Doesn't mean teal is done. Just means that purple's going on first. So we're going to mix it in here, and then we're going to bring it in with a little bit of white to it. It's going to try and make that purple pop out a little bit. We're just going to use all this purple up. We're going to use the whole thing. There we go. So while I'm doing this, you guys start thinking about the next color. Orange, teal, yellow. Orange, teal, yellow. Those are your choices. Orange, teal, and yellow. You guys make the next decision. I see perfectly well in the flame. I'm going to actually do a quick example of that. Watch. And there you go. That is borovision. Borovision. So that's how I see things. See? Total difference. Kind of cool, right? All right, we are going to buzz it out a little bit. And here we go. Going to pop a little bit of white in here just to balance this purple out. So it won't be very white. It's just going to mix it a little tiny bit in there. Just like that. Just little baby bits of white. So now you can see, let me go back to true borovision here. Definitely need to set this up on a foot pedal. So now you can even see those little squiggles running through there. See them deep inside where I put the white? So that's how that works out. All right, here we go. We're going to drill mix. Got my handy dandy DeWalt drill. Start off a little slow. Yeah, teal definitely took it for a second choice. We're just mixing all that in there. All right, we're going to cut it off. There we go. Okay, next step, we're going to zoom it back out. Here we go. And we're going to attach a holding rod here. It's constantly shooting at me. I don't know the price on the wine top. Stephanie will have to deliver that to you. You can message thefieryguy.com and Stephanie will be able to answer that question. She does all the pricing. Because the problem is if I start doing things, I'll start giving it all away. And then I'd have no money. Okay, so we're going to separate this. There we go. Pull this little tiny chunk of clear off here. Okay, we're going to do a side view so you guys get a better visual of the color. So while the glass is hot, it never shows its true color. It definitely needs to cool down, but so that purple kind of with the white, it'll get a lot darker to it, but you can see it kind of has that, see how it changes? It'll get a little darker. And then the teal is super bright teal. So here it is without any light. Okay, we got a little color to it, but look how teal that is. So that's the secondary color you guys chose. There we go. So we're going to take this, we got to attach a little holding rod to it, because it's too short to use as is. All right, we're good there. Let's go ahead and bring in the zoom cam. So again, we got that purple. You can see it's going way more purple now. Looks good. We're going to spin this teal on. Going to go very loose at the back end, tight at one end, loose on the other. Going to bring in the Boro view. So now you can see exactly what, see how much of a difference that is? See how you can see the lines versus that? That shows you the true nature of my glasses. Like that. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do a little surprise on here. We're going to use some double amber purple on there, and we're going to stripe it down a little. Not too much of it. It's like 4 little lines here. Like that. And now we got some lines running through there. Now that amber purple is going to be super intense. You can see it actually starting to develop right there. It's going to get a little darker. All right, we're going to take some clear and jump down that as well. Ooh, I even got a skinny clear rod. Holy moly. I couldn't have asked for a better time for this to just magically appear. And one more. Yep. Actually, we're going to go around a little bit on this. Actually, that's good right there. I think we're okay. So it's going to change up the patterning a little bit. Bayo! Thank you for the memberships. Appreciate that. You have a question? Okay, I might have an answer. Fire away. Okay, we're going to bring it in. We're going to let it cool off just a little bit. And you're going to start to see that kind of transferring in. See that pattern happening right there as it cools off. And here we go. So now we got the purple underneath. We have the teal stripes sideways and a little bit of amber purple running through here with some clear. So we're creating this really odd looking pattern at the moment. Bring it back out. So we're going to start kind of rounding this up a little bit. Belle, thank you so much for doing those memberships. You have no idea how much that helps. Do you do this stuff on your website or do something like a ocean lava lamp? No, I don't do any lava lamps. That's a whole different ball game. Different glass, different everything. I wish I could. It'd be really cool to do a lava lamp, but no. It's really not feasible. Nothing's impossible, but that would be a very expensive adventure. All right, so we're going to start pushing this in and twisting it up a little bit. This isn't close to done yet. We've got a little bit more color to add to it. I'm just kind of creating this whimsical pattern here. I forgot I wanted to zoom in. Don't do this at home. There we go. So you can see the pattern is kind of twisting where on this, where I'm tapping my finger, that end, it's twisting a little and the other end's super straight. Now we're going to bring it out and we're going to twist the other end up a lot. So part of it's going to be semi-twisted, the other end really twisted. Bring it down this way, get it super organized right there. We're going to spiral that way up. John, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it, my friend. What's up, Melissa? How are you? All right, so I'm going to separate this, and we got to start thinking about another color to add on. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to remove this right here, this little bit. There. So we'll bring it up, and you can see how well, maybe I should use the side cam. This might be a better visual. Okay, we can see on the very top up here, we got really tight, and then I left it kind of loose down here. So much tighter up here, loose down here. This is still going to go into a marble form, but I wanted to tighten that pattern right there up. Okay, next step. We have color choices. We have a triple color. So this has a black, a caramel, and a butterscotch. Oh my God, I can't even see it. That sucks. Hold on. Got to go to side cam for a moment. Sorry. So we have the teal, the butterscotch, and the black onyx. So this is like a triple color. We have cobalt. So we can use cobalt. Really dark cobalt. And we have shimmer green or white. So this is the shimmer green, and we have white. So you guys decide. Cobalt, triple pattern, green, or white. You guys get to do that. And there we go. Ooh, cobalt. A lot of people saying cobalt. Oh, tricolors. Cobalt, cobalt. The triple is running rampant on YouTube. Trying to gauge TikTok here. A little bit more. Going to give it a few more seconds here. And based on chat, I think the triple color won out. Doesn't mean all the other colors are left out. Just means this is the next version. It's the next one. We do have to put a little holding rod on it though, because it is a tiny bit short for me. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Not a biggie, though. Blend it in. All right, so we're going to grab the marble here, what's soon to be a marble. Then we're going to add the triple color up here, right at the top. This might look kind of cool. I've never done it this way. So we're going to slowly start adding this on. I don't want to spin it too fast. I don't want these three colors to mix I don't want it to become muddy. So we're just going to slowly add them in. And they're going to create little mini spirals in here. And we're going to hit to that point, let it cool for a second. And then we're going to wig-wag it the opposite direction. So right now, all the colors are spinning in this direction. I'm going to let it cool, and then we're going to reverse it backwards. Okay, and then we're going to bring the color back this way. So one part of this will be rotating in one direction, and then the other part will be the other direction. Then when we compress it down, it'll have a very unique look. Okay, let's start separating this. All right, so right now we have a unicorn horn. Okay, we're nowhere near a marble. I'll do it from this side so you guys can watch a little too. Actually, let's see if I can get you guys a little better view since it's audience participation night. All right. See what I mean by the coils going one direction, then at the top they go the opposite direction. So these are going one, and then it switches the other direction. And then there's the colors bouncing in. We're going to go full view for a little bit, because now we're just making a marble. All right, let's get this thing melted in a little bit. What do y'all say? Here we go. And I'm just going to let it kind of gravity drip down. We're just going to let it naturally pull down on its own. And that's going to keep all those coils that we spun up very tight. If I tried pushing it into the mold right away, it would totally distort all those lines. I want to try and keep them as much as possible. Okay, we're getting pretty close here. We're going to switch hands so you guys can see. Yeah, I'm pretty ambidextrous, so it doesn't matter how I'm doing it. I can rotate either side. So there's that. We're going to zoom back in. I can even multitask. We'll bring it in. And there. Now you can really see what's going on. Isn't that a cool view? The filter's always badass to look through. See if it changes. Nope. I do have to clean it though. It's a little dirty. There we go. It's a wee bit dirty. All right, so now we got both those sections melted in a little bit. We're blending it with that first marble section we did. We're going to actually start compressing this down and getting it semi-round. So we're getting there real quick. You can now see it starting to form up a little. All right, we have to go to the mold if you guys want to see that. So we're going to be focused in this area up here and start forming this into a semi-marble. And I'm not pushing it. You can literally just hold it so it doesn't fall. And let the weight of the glass do all the work. So I'm going to show you the front portion of this. You guys have helped design it so far. We're going to let it kind of do its slow reveal like that. So we've got a little spin cycle up there. Like that. Then we got a cool pattern off to the side. Let's bring it back into side view one last time here for a little bit. So you can see we got the front with a little spin pattern all the way going around. Then on the side we got the line patterns going. So next step is we're going to punty up to the other end. And then we have to decide what to do on this last portion. Really? Okay. All right, there's about a half hour left on the wolf auction. So if you are interested in bidding on the wolf, you have about a half hour left. It is located at thefieryguy.com, and there's an auction going for the wolf. It is very close to being done. Okay, we're going to put the attachment right there so we can work the other end of this. Then we're going to burn it off. So the last choice of what we're going to have to do here is crushed opals. So crushed opal or dichroic glass at the end. You guys decide. Dichroic glass is the really shimmery, sparkly glass, and crushed opals are just what they sound like, crushed opals. Thank you, Bea. You make my day. Thank you. So we're trimming that off. So we got 2 dichros. Dichro. So dichroic glass is this stuff here. It's very shimmery. Actually, I should punch it up a little closer. It gets broken into little tiny 1,000 particles, but it's very shiny glass, and this is in purple blues. And then opals are just like what they sound like, crushed opal. What's up, Rambo? Sorry, I'm just reading the chat real quick, trying to decide on where we're at. Sparkle, dichro, crushed. Oh, man, it's pretty close. All right, let me trim this off a little bit. It's a little spot right here I don't like. Okay. Opals, dichro. Wow, it's pretty close. I think dichro's just slightly ahead. So we're going to probably have to go with dichro. All right, so before we do that, though, we got to add a little bit of cobalt to the very end so the dichro pops out. So this needs a dark background to it for the dichro. And there we go. Yeah, both won't look good. The opals won't show up with the dichro. Although, you know what? I might be able to do that. Oh, thank you, Rambo. You know what? We might be able to do that. All right, we're going to park this in the kiln temporarily. And we're going to make the dichro. And then I'll grab some opals and see if we can do that. I think we might be able to make it happen. I've never done it. I've never done it that way, but we can certainly give it a shot. Not opposed to trying new stuff. All right, so we're going to separate this here. If you've not seen dichro work, though, it's pretty awesome. I love dichroic glass. Here we go. I'm just wondering if they're going to counter each other out, but we'll find out. All right, so this is the dichro we're going to be using down here. We'll use it right there. See that shimmer? It's badass. Nettie, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, there is the dichro side, so we're going to add in the glass side here. Okay, we attach it to a little rod like this. Oh man, you can definitely see what's happening there. We're about to change this thing all up. Okay, so I do my dichro a lot different than everybody else on the planet. Most people use a very cool flame. They like very oxidizing flame. I'm running my flame as hot as possible, which is counterproductive to dichroic glass. But the way I do it, it works out perfect. So I use what's called a kind of like a drip method. If you watch closely, the dichroic slab never enters the flame. It's never hitting it at all. And if it never hits the flame, there's no possibility for a burnout. So there is the glass side right there that was encased. Look how beautiful it looks when it gets encased. Do you see that iridescent blue right there? That shimmer? Then there's the dichroic side. So this is the most important side right here. That is like a mirrored finish, and it is made of very, very, very thin metal. And if it hits the flame for just 1 second, it'll burn off. So we cannot let it hit the flame at all. Once it's fully encased, it's perfectly safe to let it hit the flame. Just like that. Again, I am very unorthodox the way I do my dichro. All right, we're going to seal up the sides just a little bit. Most people think I'm crazy with it, but you know what? It works for me. We're going to come over here, and then we're going to seal up this side. I do a lot of things backwards to what traditional people say you should do. I am not traditional in that sense. I follow my own path. All right, there we are. Look how beautiful that dichro got when it's encased. Dichro is just one of the most beautiful pieces of glass you could ever ask for. In fact, we're going to bring it over to the side. Look at that. Can you see the rainbow of colors in there? I told you it's pretty. Oh, it definitely works. Okay, so next, we're going to take all that beautiful work and twist it all up. We're going to twist it all up. We're going to wreck everything we just did. So you take it there. Going to heat up this rod, and I'm going to start twisting the heck out of it. What happens is the flat surface of the dichroic glass starts literally eviscerating into little tiny shards as I'm spinning it up. It's like running paper through a confetti machine. It's basically turning everything to confetti. Eric, thank you so much for the super chat. We might actually hit our super chat goal tonight. I only set it for 10, I think. All right, so we are just shredding this thing. Here we go. It's a lot of work for a marble, right? But it's audience participation marble. All of you got to help pick out so far the colors, and we were going to go with dichro or opal, and you guys kind of pushed the double issue, which is fine. All right, last part here, before we put the opals on, we have to take this section right here off. Have to bring this off and smooth it out. I actually learned how to work dichro from a pretty famous pipe maker. I didn't know how to work with it very well until he taught me. Will you add in opal? I'm going to add in crushed opals, Bayo. Definitely add. I don't have big opals, but I'm adding in crushed opals. Yes, we're definitely doing crushed opals. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. That was awesome. Definitely, for that, we are definitely adding in crushed opal. Okay, so y'all ready to see what dichro looks like when it's all broken up and looking beautiful? Now, this doesn't have a real big color. Look how it almost looks opalicious right there by itself. I can't get it to focus. There we go. Got the camera focusing. As it cools off, it's going to get brighter and brighter. We're going to switch it to the other side. And then you're going to see the other color, which is going to be the rainbow colors. It's going to be more of the blue. So this side had the pink and fuchsia. The other side had the purple and blues. So we're going to bring it over here and we're going to melt it off. And you're going to see now purple and blues through it. But when this is added to the full-blown marble, everything will be visible. The purples, the pinks, the blues, everything. Because we're going to compress it down. I got hiccups going. Totally weird. When I talk too much on here. Silver Dollar, thank you for the rose. Teresa, thank you for the ice cream cone. When I talk too much on here, I get the hiccups. I hate that. All right, we're going to bring it over. Here we go. Hopefully you see gold, blue, and purples coming through. It's showing more of the gold right now. The blue might need a little bit to cool off. Bring it out. Not too bright. There we go. Oh, there's a little blue and green coming in. Camera's having a hell of a time focusing. But there we go. We're starting to get that. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's go back here. We're going to grab some opals. I'm definitely going to have to multitask here. My opal container. And there's my crushed opals. Got my other marble mold up here. We're going to park him right in there. So I always use a marble mold for my crushed opals. We're going to pour them right in there. So the little container has crushed opals in there. Little tiny baby opals. But when we add a bunch of clear to it, it magnifies it. So that's what we're going to do right now. Yeah, hiccups suck. I hate them. All right, one last. We might actually see the color. I let it cool off a little. Hold on one second. Sorry. There we go. Now you can see a little bit of that color bouncing through. Not as much. You will a little bit later. I promise it's going to be very intense in just a little bit. And I want this. There we go. We're going to magnify the heck out of it. So you will see lots of dichro and the opals will be very big looking. So when the opals are little tiny little bits in there, they're hard to see. However, when you add a bunch of clear to the edge or to the overlay, It acts just like a magnifying glass. It will 100% magnify everything underneath it. We're going to zoom out too because you guys want to see the opal dip. And here we go. And then we're going to attach this to the marble we were making earlier. This is a big old marble. I was expecting to be done with the marble already, but we're just taking our time. Audience participation. Okay, here we go. So right now we're magnifying the dichro. Want to create a layer of separation between the opals and the dichro. So that's what I am currently doing. And there we are. And don't forget, I think this Wednesday, I will set it up tomorrow if I'm going to do it. We're going to have the members and subscribers on TikTok, members on YouTube. We're going to have a special session for you guys. We're going to definitely bring that in and try it out. Okay, we're going to bring it up over here. So from the side, you can see how much I magnified. Everywhere you can kind of see where the dichro is right there, where it's fuzzy. Everywhere it's not is all clear. And then up front here, you can see how much it's magnifying all the little particles in there. Now, unfortunately, dichro, when it cools off, it shows up a lot better. While it's hot, it just doesn't look like much. It looks very burnt out until it cools. I don't want to burn my camera, though. We're right up on it. Okay, so next step, we're going to add the opals in. And here we go. So we have the dichro, then we'll put the opal on top of that, and we'll have two different layers. We're going to take it over and just dip it into the opals. Like that. You can kind of see them sitting at the end of here. I think at this point we got to zoom in. There. Now you can see all those little crushed opals sitting at the end up there. Bunch of them. So the trick on this is I'm keeping the opals warm out here. This is not entering the flame. Same thing as dichro. I'm not entering the flame with the opal. I'm just keeping it warm up here. I'm heating this portion up, the main object. And I'm going to take it over out of the flame, stab it in, and there we go. Now they're encased. And then we're going to give it a little spiral to mix them up in there. Then we're going to magnify everything up again. And then we're going to finish this marble off. So we're going to mix all those little opals up in there. Looks like I'm going to have to taffy pull it a little bit. There we go. Got a big old air pocket in there from when I taffy pulled it. There we go. Nope, still there. Okay. All right, now we're going to add in the large lens cap on here. So this is a tremendous amount of clear. And then we're going to fuse it to the main marble. This thing got really big. I was only planning on this marble being like 1.5 inches. It's definitely going to be bigger than that. A little bit more. This actually looks really cool. I have to be honest, I'm glad we tried it. I think it might be a good winner here. All right, we're going to separate it a little bit. Bring it down. We're going to let gravity kind of do its thing on it. So we're looking for it to drip over. Kind of like a mushroom cap. There we go. Okay, we're going to bring it in side view one more time, and then I have to bring it all together and start assembling it. So we're going to pull out this way and bring it into side angle. So now you can see the opals are really running around the outer edge. They look like little air bubbles right now. But if we turn it to the side, you might actually catch the glimpse of them starting to look like opals. Right now they just look like particles of dust. There they go. So as they start getting a little brighter here and cooling, they start looking like little opals. And they're spread throughout this whole thing. There you go. You can kind of see some of the green happening as it's cooling off. So those little green speckles, those are all the little tiny bits of opal. Now, this is where it's going to get awesome, okay? Now when we assemble everything together and it has that dark background, it does look like stars a little bit. So it should look like with the dichroic, theoretically, it should look like stars with a galaxy behind it. Okay, we got that sealed up there, and let's attach it here. So I got to wait a second and burn that off. So it's going to take just a second for this to cool down, and then I got to burn it off up here. And then we'll fuse it to the marble and start building it into a full-size marble. Okay, we're going to bring it down. And there we go. Okay, one last look up close. And then we got to zoom out for a little bit. So there it is with everything in its glory. And we're going to bring it back and grab the other half and start fusing it together. So these two are going to go together, and we should have a pretty amazing looking marble when we're done. Let's go. This has some really nice patterns to it too. I mean, beautiful patterning. And then when you're assembling these two together, you don't want to push too hard. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, keep that one going. So we got that middle section kind of fused together really well now. Now we just have to blend that whole thing in the middle there to make it round. Like push it all into a ball. And here we go. See, we're getting it closer, like that. A little bit more. See, we're compressed pretty far down. We just have a little bit more to go. Then we'll use the marble mold and round this thing out. Round it up. This thing definitely has a lot going on, though. And we're actually almost there. This won't take long now. Here we go. I'll bring it in a little tighter for you guys for a little bit and bring it back out when we go to the mold. So you can kind of see all the patterning happening right there. We got 3 different sections. Going to taper it off here. Almost a bell shape at the moment. We got the spiral at the end, which I do have to eliminate that little nebby right there. I have to take that off. There we go. All right, we're going to bring in the shield while I'm working this for a little bit. You guys can observe it. Like that. See how much better you can see? You can even see the pattern up in the front. But that's how I see the world. Bring it way out. There we go. I can only hold this so long though. Okay, last little bit We should be able to get this pretty round here in just a second, and then we'll start using the molds. We'll zoom it back out. And then we'll have some cool patterns to it. Just a wee bit more here. Come on. I really don't want to distort any portion of this because it's like so perfect right now. And we're going to crank it up a little bit here. A little bit of gravity drip here. Now you guys can see it's gotten pretty round. All right, we're going to zoom out to the marble mold, and you can watch the final process happen. Y'all ready? So we just come out here and we gently start letting it form on its own. Notice I can do this with 2 fingers. I'm not putting any pressure on this whatsoever. Don't want to have any pressure on that. If you push it in, like if you push in on it, where it's hitting the edge on one corner, it'll indent it. And then you screw up your entire pattern. I think I might actually be running out of propane on here. Or the tank's frozen. That's why you see me keep adjusting the flame right now. Okay, a little bit more here. There we go. Bring it over to a smaller mold. There we are. Spinning it right up. Oh man, I hope we're not running out of propane. Not a good time. Okay, there we are. And that is spinning beautifully. Yeah, propane's either frozen or running low, because I'm adjusting my valves all the way out right now. All right. We're going to I'm going to go change the tank. I'm not going to log off for it. It won't take me very long to change the regulator over. You'll just hear me banging away at it about there for a second. Okay, we're going to go to side view, so at least you can see where the heck we are at right at the moment. So we got the patterning going on in there, and we got the spiral up in the front. See that guy right there? There we are. Look at those colors. And we're going to come off to the side. We got the colors in there. And then we got the dichro and opal running in there, galaxy. Okay, going to pop it in the kiln for a second. Like that. We're going to bring it back up here. Frontal view. Yeah. All right, give me a minute. You'll hear me moving the regulator around outside. I might swear a thing or two. I'll try and keep the swearing down to a minimum. So just give me a second. I'm going to leave the stream running, okay? Mods, entertain for a second if you wouldn't mind. And yes, you do have to keep your tanks outside. Oh boy. Oh wow, is that empty or what? We definitely ran the heck out of this one. Okay, we're going to hook into the next tank. Probably an awful sound for you guys. Okay, we should be good. Back in biz. All right, we are back in business. This is one of my favorite little tools. It's a little mini Jedi lightsaber lighter. This thing is intense. Although I got to fill it with some propane, I think. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, let's get back at it. Now that it's cooled off, we're going to show you a little bit before we get it hot again. You will definitely be able to see the intensity of it. So this is the reveal part. Did I tell you that's beautiful or what? And then there's the side. Wait till you see the dichro and opal. Wait till you catch a glimpse of that. All right, so we're going to finish off the other side. This one's pretty much done. Let it cool off for a second, and then we're going to finish it off. Okay, we're going to separate it here. I'm going to leave this on temporarily for a second. I want you to see the dichro and the opals. They've cooled off a little bit, so you're going to get a good glimpse at it. Won't be in its full glory yet, but there's the dichro. And then there's the... I told you it looked like a galaxy. Then we got the little opals bouncing through it. See? What's up, Daisy Girl? There you go. Thank you, Ray. What's up, Ray? Janae, how are you? Creative, what's going on? Yeah, kind of cool, right? But I wanted you to see it before we start heating it back up, because once I heat it back up, the dichro isn't going to show up as well again until it cools back off. So I thought since we had already cooled it off a little bit, might as well show you the end result. I'm going to add a little more clear here because I can. Just going to make it a little bigger. We're doing it Texas style, a little bigger. And here we go. So we're going to add on some clear on here, just magnify everything up. I think we're just about there. Right there. Okay, we should be good. Yeah, this marble I think is going to be pretty insane. Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty insane. So we're right now at just kind of like the relaxed stage for a second. This is building it back up and getting the core heat in. We're going to kind of zoom in a tiny bit. There we go. We'll use the filter for a moment because it'll give you guys a little view. There we are. There's the filter view. I'm glass blowing through my monitor right now. That's why I'm looking like I'm staring at. I'm not focusing here. I can see through the monitor right now. So when I'm doing this, I'm just kind of glass blowing or sculpting through the actual visual of the screen. So basically I'm doing everything backwards. What's up, Black Rose? How you doing? This marble is for sale. This is not commissioned. This is audience participation marble. So I like every once in a while grabbing the audience, like all of you, and saying, hey, let's pick out colors. And you guys get to help pick out the colors. And you guys built it. All right, we're going to bring it out here and start getting the final preparations and touches done on it. We'll be using Dragonfly Creations marble holder to remove it, which is one of my favorite tools on the planet. We just have to keep it rotating. Over a smaller mold and get it balancing out. There we go. So we're going to have to do 2 reversal punties on here. So because it cooled off and went back in the kiln and didn't get a chance to finish all the way right off, it's a little off as far as side to side, top to bottom. So I'm going to have to repunty up here, push this back in a little bit, repunty back, and round that one off. Sounds complicated, it's not, but it's because I ran out of propane, all that stuff happened. Thank you so much for the club power and the go populars. All right, here we go. I don't know. If we have a lot of people wanting to buy it, then we should probably do an auction, make it fair. And there we go. Look at that. Is that not pretty? But see how it changed the dichro a little bit as it went hot again? You don't see the dichro of the opal as well? That's always the drawback from it. All right, we're going to bring it in. And we're going to reverse this punty up here. So I definitely have to get this smoothed out a little bit. It's a little oblong there now. This is the part I hate when this stuff happens. And the reason I hate this is if this marble bumps just a tiny, tiny little bit, I mean a little bump, it'll fall off. Now it won't mess the marble up, it just sucks. So I'm tightening that coil back up. Okay. All right, now we just have to round it up a little bit. One more punty to that side, and then we're all done. This thing looks cool, though. Oh, Daisy Girl, the pen, yes. The one that has the, you mean the candle-looking one? Definitely. Okay, we got this. This thing looks so freaking cool. Ouch. Damn it. I just cut myself. I'm going to have to hide the blood for the moment. I'm going to get kicked off. It'll stop bleeding in a second. It's just a little cut. But if there's any visible blood, they will definitely flag you. So we don't want to do that. And it's not like there's a lot of anything going on. This is a little baby cut. It's pretty much stopped. Okay, so we're going to show you I'm going to show you all the action with it. This will be the last time you get to see it kind of in this direction before we reverse punty one more time, or one last time. So again, here we go. If you're new here or you just joined us, this is the color. This is the reveal part. Look at that sparkle on the black. Can you see that black just sparkling like little diamonds? Got a purple underlay. Okay. Then last punty on this side. Got a little crooked there. That's okay. Crooked's okay. All right. This is the scariest point right here. If I move it too fast, if I bump it, anything goes wrong, too fast of a movement, it will fall off. And like I said, it won't hurt the marble. It may leave a little dent where we detach it and have that clear spot. I can fix all that, but it just sucks to have to do it. I don't like it. Mostly because it's avoidable. Okay, a little bit more. There we go. This thing is sweet. Oh my God. I don't even want to sell it, but I have to. I can't keep them all. Okay, there we are. We're looking fantastic. Round it out. I like the opal and the dichro a lot too. I'm pretty happy with that. The opal and the dichro look really good together. I had never done that before. Okay, so we're going to switch over very carefully, very slow. We're going to go to the side cam. We'll start on the side view. So you can see we got the spiral that runs down, and then we got this little like pattern right in between. You can see a little bit of those opals on the bottom. And there is the galaxy with the opals. And there it is without a light. And there's with light. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So my absolute favorite tool on the planet, the dragonfly marble holder. Okay, bring a pop out view. There we go. I love this frickin' tool. If you don't have this tool and you're a glassblower, you're missing out. You got to get a hold of Dragonfly Creation. Okay, I'm serious. Okay, we pop it in here like this. And then this is how you remove it. We'll bring it out into side view because this thing isn't going to break. I'm happy with it from here. This thing I can leave out for a little while. But yeah, I am digging this piece. That really does look like a galaxy. Even without the light. Look at that. See that galaxy look like that? All right, we have to get it in the kiln, though. And there we are with that. Oh, no wonder. Still had glass in there. Okay, that was fun. What do y'all think? Do you like the audience participation, like being involved in picking out the colors, or is that something that just takes too much time? What does it do? It just looks beautiful. So do you like being a part of the live stream where you get to help pick the colors out with a vote? Or would you rather just have me go and randomly throw it all together? Because I'd like to do maybe one night a week for sure, audience participation process. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Well, you get to come back in and watch the live stream, though. You get to rewatch it. Okay, so earlier tonight, we made the little stand here for the wine topper. So I'm going to show you side views probably, well, maybe the front, no, side view. So this is the little jar we made earlier, like that. And this has an Oceanic bottom on it. Okay. And then this is the wine topper. So it just fits in there. So you can store your wine topper in a little jar down here and you can have it displayed. And this guy is the octopus wine topper we did a long time ago. And it has the glow-in-the-dark body inside and the Lucy head. Even look at the eyeballs with the little Nova style. So there's the Lucy glow, and there's all the colors. I had completely forgot about this guy, to be honest. Make sure it sits well. Yeah. So it just sits like that in your home. I'd probably weight it down a little bit with something in the bottom, but yeah. And that way it's on display. You don't have to like put it in a drawer, which I would hate. Okay, what do you guys say? You want to rock one more kind of audience marble? What do you think? You want to do one more? I've got a few materials up here. We can definitely rock one more. If you guys want to do it. Okay. Let me get a little bit of attachment done here. Yeah, I've got enough glass up here. You want to do some fiery colors? Some like shimmer, fires, reds, oranges, and yellows. I think that might be kind of cool, to be honest. Okay, this is the shimmer, the glass we're going to use for the shimmer. Let's prep some dichro ahead of time and get the fiery dichro ready to go. Yeah, sunsets. Exactly. We got amber purple up here, so we're good on that too. dichro. Crap. There we go. Yep. So this is the fiery dichro. This is the reddish color. Let me pop the view in a little closer. Here we go. So this is the fiery dichro. You can see it's all in the reds and golds like that. It'll transfer a little blue, like, not that. It'll have a little bit of a blue to it as well, like right there. But yeah, this is the fiery color. Let's rock that one out first and go from there. I'm going to back this off just a little bit. Let's see here. About like that. What do you guys think? There or there? A little bit, just a hair off. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll try it. All right, let's add the dichro. Nope. There we go. I'm having a lot of fun with you guys tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me. I'm having a good time tonight. Okay. How long does it have to stay in the... It's going to stay in the kiln overnight. It just doesn't hurt to leave it in there. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to leave it in the kiln at all. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, and I technically wouldn't push it to come out of the kiln early anyway. I would leave it in at least 8 hours. Me personally, some people would push it a little quicker, but I don't think I would. Okay, so we're going to grab it here. This is the dichro. We're going to prep this way ahead of time. Okay, there is those fun colors. Thank you, Big D. Big D, thank you for the confettis. I appreciate that, my friend. All right, let's get this thing fired up. Let's do it. Let's get it. I forgot about that video. Let's get it. So again, my dichro prep is completely opposite of what everybody else on the planet does. If you are a glassblower and you're one of my members or subscribers on TikTok or a member on YouTube, and you run into a little issue with dichro, do not be afraid to hit me up. I'll walk you through it. And here we go. I think my dichroic is some of the cleanest dichro of anybody on the planet. I'll put my dichro up against anyone. That one I'll do. I will 100% admit that. I'll do dichro and wings. I'll put wings up against anybody too. I love making wings. And not the Guy Fieri kind. All right, so... Oh, there's the blue. So that's the blue that it'll transition into a little bit. But there is the golden color right there. And you're going to see a little bit of the blue. And then it's going to go golden red. Watch. Like that. Look how clean that is. All right, we're going to hit the other side here. Now, this is the dichroic side. This is the side that cannot 100% absolutely hit the flame. We're hitting the glass side right now. So this can never, ever, ever, ever directly hit the flame, or this type of flame. And it is beautiful. Now, watch what happens with the dichro when you have it magnified a little bit. It just doesn't it look, to me it looks wet. It almost looks like it's dripping water off of it. And I'm going to show you, before we get to making the marble, I'm going to show you a little trick, especially my new glass blowers, or the glass blowers that I have in here that are looking to make money and you don't know what to do, okay? I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you for free a little bonus item. And if you make these and you go to a street fair, Christmas show, anywhere that you have the opportunity to sell in person and in daylight or with good lighting, if you bring one of these that I'm about to do and show you to a show, lots of them, you will sell out. I promise you. Okay, so right there we encased the sides, the top, and the bottom of the dichro, okay? Just a little strip of it. Now from here, what you want to do is you want to grab, I'm hoping I got a small rod, like a 6 mil. 6 or 4 millimeter, it doesn't matter. Start at the top. And I want you to wiggle back and forth, pushing it in. Back and forth. Like that. I'm going to even use the side view to show you. And if you are interested in one of these, let me know. We'll make them for you. I don't have them listed right now. This is the side that you want to look at. Didn't that just change it? And it looks almost like it's dripping water. I called them ice pendants. Okay, I'll show you exactly how they're supposed to look, but now watch, you don't want that side. This is the side that the customer will wear like that. Is that not just freaking cool looking as hell? I love that. And you saw how fast I made that. Okay, and that was taking my time. Okay, and then from here, you just punty it up. Now, sometimes you should kind of straighten them out. They can get a little goofy. So we're going to punty right there. Then we got the top portion right up here. I can probably name 2 glass blowers right now that are going to be like, hey guys, guess what I invented? All right, here we go. We're going to cut this off. And we're going to taper it down a little bit. So we're left with that little bit, yeah, it looks fantastic in a window anywhere, to be honest. But if you wear this, I promise you, if you ever have one of these on, I will wager $100 on it to anyone, any challenge. I'll wager $100 on it. Oop, I can't do that. No, I'm not wagering any money. I take it back. I was a joke. But I will venture to say that if you wore this into a dimly lit restaurant, so not super bright lighting, very dim lighting, or into some type of event where it was an outside concert, fair, anywhere where there's a lot of sunlight, people will walk up to you and ask you what the heck you're wearing. They will go out of their way to come up and ask you. I will tell you a story about this while we're doing this, while I'm showing you this product. Now, we're going to tear this up into a marble, but I'm just showing my glass blowers how to do this. So the customer that had the pool table lamp that I always talk about and the dogs, the 5 dogs, she bought one of these at my store. And her husband had just bought her an 11-carat canary diamond necklace. Okay, 11 carats. Canary diamond necklace. Big. She was so mad because she had more people paying attention to this than that necklace ever. And she wasn't really mad, but she was like, I could have saved, like, I don't remember how much he spent on it. It was like a big 6 figures. She's like, we could have saved a lot of money. She's like, I just can't believe it. And she bought one of every color that I had. Every single dichro color she bought. But she kind of wore them kind of cool. She like ran 5 of them down at the same time. She had me make them one super long and then 2 a little bit shorter and then 2 more shorter than that. And she went to her jeweler and had a custom necklace made where they had little like bead sections that you could separate the necklace so they didn't clank on each other too much. Okay, there is the... Okay, so from this distance, you can see all the way up here. Look at way back here, how it just picks up every bit of light, no matter where you go. And we'll bring it back here. So this is what I'm saying to the glass blowers or to the people that are trying to figure out what the heck to make. Make this. And you saw how fast I technically did that. And look at all the colors bouncing. It looks like, I called them ice pendants because they look like they were blocks of ice. All right, we're going to come back out here. So anyway, it does glow. That's what I was saying. Way back here, look. I mean, it just picks up all the light everywhere. I don't want to get it too close. I don't want to burn I'll end up burning myself. Probably not a good idea. All right, so for my glass blowers, definitely do that. If you do any street fairs, any events, anything like that, make 10 of them, make 20, and you will sell all 20. And if you wear one, just wear it out to see for yourself. I guarantee you people will walk up and start almost reaching for your neck. It's a little creepy. It was like when we were in Italy. People kept walking up to Stephanie's neck and grabbing at her jewelry. I was getting a little pissed off, to be honest. But, yeah. It's like, ask. All right, so we're melting that little hook down. All right, we're going to turn this into a marble now. Here we go. So anyway, that was a long route to make a marble, but I thought I would share a little adventure item for you. That's part of what I want to do on the school. I'm going to open up a school app or whatever, school website, SKOOL. And those are kind of some of the fun projects for glassblowers I'm going to do. And then the school isn't going to be limited or isn't going to be specifically for glassblowers only. I want to talk about how to survive as an artist in different environments. When you go to a street fair, what things do you need to bring? If you've never done a street fair, I promise if you just go willy-nilly, you're going to forget a lot of things. If you have a gallery that says, hey, I want to do consignment, what's a fair split? How do you avoid trouble? I was talking about the gallery earlier today, and one of the problems with galleries is who handles breakage. If your item is in a gallery and someone breaks it, who pays for it? These are things that need to be worked out before you agree to put your stuff in there. Otherwise, you end up getting hurt feelings one way or another. Okay, so we're going to take the big chunk of clear here and we're going to magnify all that dichro. We're going to do crushed opal again, that's for sure. So we're going to add a little bit of crushed opal and dichro again. We're going to do the flamey colors. It's going to be all in the oranges and reds. Thank you so much, Kevin's book. Kevin's book is in the house. Everybody, definitely if you're on TikTok, give Kevin's book a follow. Kevin is an author that wrote a book about his experiences as a investigator for crimes against children, basically pedophiles. And that's why I say Kevin's a hero. And he's amazing. And I couldn't have done his job. But I really thank him for protecting kids. All right, here we go. So we're going to magnify everything on here. So what'd you guys think of the ice pendant? Did you like it, or what'd you think? What was your opinion on the ice pendants? Loved it? Yeah, they're kind of cool. They're very fast, turnkey. Honestly, if you are a glassblower and you're wondering what is the best way to do the dichro, see if you can find a vendor like CBS or whoever sells dichro. See if you can find scrap. Not scrap, but small bits. Don't buy a full sheet. Because you can make that ice pendant out of little triangle size shapes. So they don't have to be straight up and down. They can be triangled. They can have different variations of shapes. And they look fantastic. So if you can find someone that sells broken sheets or small bits, you'll save a ton of money and your profit will be much, much higher. Okay, so we're fusing this together. Actually, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at this thing. We're going to throw some silicone in there. We're going to throw a little silicone. We're going to do a dichro opal silicon asteroid marble. Where would you find it at? Daisy Girl, CBS Dichro Coatings by Sandberg is the largest dichroic manufacturer right now for boro. So I think that's where I would start. But ask any of the vendors, like I think ABR also sells dichroic in scrap. So like when they cut a sheet, maybe they have to cut a half sheet for a customer, they mess up too, and they break it. So that's where you'd want to get it. Yeah, ABR does. So you'd want to get the scrap out of there. There's also on eBay. eBay is also a really good source. There is one vendor, I don't know if they're still selling it, but they sold a ton of it. It used to be Jerome Baker, the manufacturer, and they had a ton of scrap dichro. And they would sell it, I think it was like, don't quote me, but like $50 for 5 pounds, or no, $50. Yeah, 50 for 5. $50 for 5 pounds. Can't beat that. Kevin, you missed the marble, my friend. All right, let's bring the side view in. We're kind of marble-licious tonight. We're having some fun. We're doing audience participation. Look at that. Now there is the fire and ice, or the fire dichro, and that's not even its full glory right now. That is just kind of partial. That's not even full bore. All right, let's put the opals in. Let's do the opals next, and yeah, let's do the opals next. All right, here we go. Oh, that's looking good. Damn it, I put both tweezers on the same side of my bench. Okay, so we got the dichro on the very bottom down here. I'll show you a little bit of what's going on. I'm not going to make it super long. We're going to go pretty quick here on this portion. But I like to show you where we're at. So the dichro is in this back half back here. The clear is up here. We're going to put the opals right at the tip top up there. And we're going to make that stand out. Now, the dichro isn't showing up as well as it will once we get the backing on there and it cools off. It's there, but that's just a taste of it. That's only one little portion. It's not even close to how bright it'll look. This thing's going to be insane. All right, let's grab the opals. I'm going to have to buy more crushed opal. I know it already. We're going to bring it up to close-up view. There we go. So you can see the opals right at the end up there. It's that little fuzzy stuff. They kind of sparkle a little bit right now. But again, if you're doing opals, you want to give it a second. You keep the opals hot, warm, near the flame, but not in the flame. Just buzzing right next to it. You want to heat up your main center piece. Then once it's hot, you just kind of stab it in there. And then we're going to encase it. I got to do my TikTok buzz thing, though, real quick. I got to do my TikTok CAPTCHA. Man, I hope they do away with this thing. This CAPTCHA thing is like the dumbest thing on the planet. I hate this CAPTCHA. Yep, didn't hit it. Okay, I got it. Okay, so we got the opals in there. I'm going to reheat this. We're going to mix all those opals in. They're right now just kind of like a little tiny spot. Absolutely, Red Squeak. All right, so we have a little tiny nubby of the opal. Look how bright that dichro is even right now. Woo! All right, we're going to mix the opals up. And we're just going to spread them out. I don't want them like congregating to one section. So we're going to do that taffy pull like that, pull out, back in. This just kind of mixes them up, stretches out, pulls them in, and then it just mixes everything up. Then they're not all stuck in one place. Okay, we're doing good. We're going to magnify this with clear. I got to get rid of this little air pocket. There it goes. I hope I kicked on the outer flame. Oh, I did. Thank God. Okay, we're going to use maximum flame right now. I know that CAPTCHA thing is so annoying. YouTube doesn't do anything like that to me. Oh, welder. Yeah, welder's cool. You want to see something cool as a welder? I'll show you something you will greatly appreciate. You're going to freak out. I'm telling you right now, if you stick around for just a second, you're going to freak out. I'm not joking. But it's fun. Everybody knows, the people that have been with me for a while know what's coming. But as a welder, you're going to greatly appreciate this. Okay, a little bit on here. Okay, there we go. So one of my torch, the equipment, runs about 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's a surface mix torch, meaning the gases are mixing as they exit the ports. They're not mixing internally in the chamber. And as a welder, you know how hot these torches can get. And that kind of eliminates the heat on this torch. So you can do that. Don't do that at home. That's not something to do it at home. There we go. All right, so now we're just kind of melding everything in here. Yeah, not all torches can do that. In fact, I think this is the only brand torch that you can do that with. I don't think there's a single torch other than GTTs that you can do that with. All right, we're going to come back to this section probably and magnify it even further, add more clear to it, but I want to start adding the colors to the back end. Okay, there we go. I'll show you where we're at. We're just kind of cruising through, taking our time. We're not stressing for time on this. And there is the dichro. We got the opals starting to show up right in there. So those little opal flakes. I don't know if you can see them without the light. Yeah, it needs to cool off a little. And we'll definitely get the colors bouncing through. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I was off screen. I was trying to show the glass. Okay, so the next stage that we're going to do here, we're going to actually pop out a lot right here. We're going to go back out to our normal view. So the next stage is we're going to be adding in the hot colors. So red, yellow, orange with the liquid metal. So before we get too far, I am going to do some red Elvis with the liquid metal, the electrum in there to create the background for this. After that, we'll do audience participation and get this thing together. So, but for this particular part, I need to do, this has to have this dark background or it won't work. And then we'll talk about how to do everything else. I believe this one is, Kevin. I think Daisy Girl. Okay, and we're going to attach it right there. All right, so we're going to do the hot spots in the back here, the red with the electrum. We're going to create that. This should create a candy apple red look. So it should look like candy apple red. And that is the goal, candy apple red. Okay. I need a fresh rod here. Yeah, you'll work. I just need a little bit, not much. Oh, I have a little fuzzy on there. Okay, so we're just going to add a little bit of a clear barrier here, and then we're going to go red. This will be the red Elvis and the electrum. We're going to mix them and blend them together. And then we'll get audience participation on the rest of the marble. Okay, I swore I put some red Elvis in here. If not, I got to go grab it. Nope. Nope. Haha. Red Elvis. So this is the red Elvis right here. This is my jam. So we're going to put the red Elvis in here. And then we're going to add the electrum. We're going to blend them together, and then we'll talk about doing the reds, yellows, and whatever other fiery colors we can add in. Okay, this is where we're at. All right, let's add all this red in here, and we'll do the electrum on top of that. Electrum is a liquid metal. It very much reminds me of like Terminator 2, like off that movie, that kind of liquid metal look. Has a very cool effect. And we're going to add this entire red section here. It's going to be a little bit bigger marble. It's not going to be tiny. Can already tell you, it's definitely not going to be tiny. Okay. All right, we're going to bring this down, and we got the red on there. I don't know if the red's going to show up. You guys, what do you think? Maybe. Yeah, we might be able to add Lucy on the other side. We're going to see if the red pops in. Actually, should be able to do it. Let's do it on side view. So this red goes completely transparent, like this, and then it should theoretically start coming back to red. Let's wait for it. It's really hot right now, so it takes a little bit longer. And there we go. It's going to start forming into red. In 3, 2, 1. And there we go. Is that not cool as hell? I love that. That's like one of my favorite science parts of this glass when it does that. All right, let's add the electrum on here. There we go. I should probably grab more red. Give me 1 second. Let me grab some red. I'm definitely going to need more. I'm just running off screen for a second. We need to grab more red. Definitely don't want to run out. Okay. Now we can go. So we're going to add more red on here. Get it a little bit hotter. And there we go. We're going to swirl it in. We're just kind of swirling this glass all the way around, trying to mix it up a little bit. Okay, we're good. We're going to use the shield while we have a moment. I need to heat this up. We'll bring it up close. There we go. Bring everything up close. And we're going to use the shield for a moment so you guys can see what I see in my world versus that. Daisy Girl, thank you for the confetti. Bentley's mom, how are you? Okay, let's build this sucker up. We're going to add the rest of this red in just a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to sandwich just a little bit of clear on here, just to separate the rest of the colors. Shoot. I thought I had one more. Ah, I do. There we go. That's what I was looking for. All right, let's add this on. Then we can talk about the rest of the colors. Okay, add it in. How are we doing on time? We're doing good on time. And we have our super mods in here. We have Red Squeak, who we are pushing to evolve her photography world more and more and more. So definitely give Red Squeak a follow and watch her post some amazing photos. And then we got Grove's Glass Gallery and Dragonfly Creation, who on TikTok, and Dragonfly is on YouTube as well. And they are lamp workers like me, glass blowers. And the best part about watching them is watching them progress. They're getting so good so fast. You're going to miss out on a great golden opportunity to watch someone go from almost like beginner stage to badass in a very short time. So I would highly recommend following them, because you're going to have that golden opportunity to watch someone progress in this industry, which is hard. Not a lot of people like to show their progress. Nobody wants to show how they're the failures. Know what I mean? All right, so we got the red on there. We got the clear. The next step is we're going to kind of blend everything in a little bit, and then we'll add some other colors in here. I think we're going to keep it in the fiery type family. So oranges, reds, yellows. Little electrum in there to like make it pop out. Which I think will be fantastic. Just a little bit. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Okay, so we're going to start kind of rounding this up into the mold a little bit, then we'll add those colors. Right now we just kind of like have two marbles fighting with each other, don't want to blend like that. They're not wanting to mix up. Almost looks like a doorknob. Okay, we got it all going on. Yeah, I really like this. This is looking good too. Wow. We're on a good marble run tonight. Marblicious is looking good. Yeah, good start. There you go, Kevin. Everybody keeps seeing the yo-yo and I forget about it. But yeah, definitely has a yo-yo. I can't remember that there's a glassblower that made a yo-yo. And it worked really well. And I'm trying to remember who it was. But he actually made a yo-yo and it was cool. All right, so yeah, we're getting round. We're doing good. We're roundish. And that's all we need to be, is roundish. About like that. Okay, so the choices are, we got red on the background, so we'll need audience participation. We can add the yellow crayon, yellow. We can do the orange, which is the other color right there. This is the crayon orange. You can also add it in with white. So these three colors, all three together, will also look good. Oh, I did not know that, Daisy Girl. Now, the other option on this, if you really want it to look freaking amazing, would be to do the electrum with amber purple, double amber purple, and a little bit of orange and yellow, just a little bit. So how do you guys want to do it? White, orange, and yellow, orange and yellow. You can choose any of those colors. Amber purple, electrum, and orange and yellows. What's up, Ray? So I'll let you guys kind of type it in chat what you think. And well, I'm just going to keep it warm while I'm reading. Orange and yellow, amber purple, orange and yellow. If you want to see all of them in there, just type all. Because we can definitely blend all that in. And it will look really good. But I'm just kind of putting it all together here. Yeah, if we do it right, all will look fantastic. Yeah, everybody kind of, I think the all has it. All right, we're going to turn this into a fire basin. Let's go. Wow, that just shot the hell at me. I'm going to show you something before we get going. I got to go to side view. Because this is going to get covered up, so I have to go to side view separately. Okay. Here we go. This is why I love... So this will be on the other side behind the dichro. Ready? Here comes the reveal. Now look at the edge with the candy apple red. Yeah, and that's just going to get better and better and better. Is that not already on the fire side? That's what I was saying. That's going to look beautiful. All right, let's go. We're going to zoom in. Damn it. I don't have any Mountain Dew. I got to do iced tea. Sorry about that noise. All right, let's do it. So the way I do these is we're just going to lay down some color like this. Okay, we're going to spread that out. We're going to grab some yellow, go in between those directly in the center. And it doesn't have to be exactly the same amounts. We can change it up. Okay. Then we're going to add the white. Now the white, you don't want too much in here. We want a fire look, not a circus. So we're just going to add a little bit of that white, not much. Then we're going to grab the electrum. Just kind of spread it around a little. Okay. So we got all those colors based on there now. Okay, lots of color bouncing through. Almost looks like a Rastafari head, doesn't it? All right, next, cheetah puffs. All right, next we are going to really heat this whole thing up, and we're going to start mixing these together. We're not mixing them, we're swirling through. A big difference between that. That's why I wanted the flame up close and the camera up close so you can see what's happening. So we're going to bring it out here. We're just going to start creating all these little micro swirls. Like that. This is, again, that finger painting technique that I so much am in love with. So we took those lines like that and we blended them together and created that little bit of micro swirls all the way around. So now we're going to have all these colors bouncing through, kind of like a tie-dye. But I'm going to try and get it into like a fiery look, like planetary fiery. And then after we get this part done, we're going to add in the amber purple and a little more electrum. But it should create a very much fiery look. We're just coming all the way around. We don't want to leave any of those straight lines in there. We should name this Inferno or something. I don't know. It'd be a befitting name for it. All right, there we go. Last little bit. I'm missing a tiny little bit right here. This is definitely looking very cool, though. I don't know if I've ever done anything with like this many warm colors like this in this technique. Solar flare color. Yeah, the solar flare would look a little awesome, but I'm kind of worried that it would be lost in it. Fahrenheit Fuma. Actually, that's a good name. I like it. All right, so we're going to bring it out. I'm going to show you guys kind of where we're at. So now you can see all those colors kind of bouncing through. No more independent straight lines. Let's see if the flashlight will even pick it up a little. Yeah, we're getting there. A lot of chaos going on right now. The crayon colors take a little while to come back to life, but you can start to see all that craziness going on. There we go. Now we're going to grab the amber purple, and we're probably going to do amber purple, a little bit of red, a tiny bit. Ooh, we got dark amber purple. We got dark amber purple. Holy moly. Gonna do a little tiny bit. This will make a nice contrast. All right, so we got that. A little dark amber purple never hurt. And let's grab the amber purple itself. My favorite color on the planet. Of course, it is the most expensive now, or one of them. We definitely have that fiery dichro in the center with the opals. Okay, let's add the amber purple on here. Stacking lots of color on top of color. And last little bit here. It's starting to get hard to see where I'm at color-wise. But so far, so good. We're looking good so far. We might as well bring the shield out because that's making it hard to see. See, now you can see it. Versus that. So that's how I see everything. All right, we are going to add a little bit of red in here, just a tiny bit. Just to mix in a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more clear. The oranges and yellows and white will definitely show up underneath all of this. All right, that's all the red we need. All right, last little bit is clear, and then we will turn this whole thing into awesome. So we're just melting it in again. Looks like an asteroid re-entering the atmosphere. It totally looks like an asteroid coming in, or the old Apollo missions. All right, last little bit. We're going to add the clear, and then we're going to form this marble up. It is going to be out freaking standing. I was going to add the silicon chip in there, but I think that's too much. We already have the opals. We have the dichro. I think the silicon chip would kind of get lost. And this is just a marbling beauty up here. And last little bit of clear, and we're going to form it up. We'll actually get right into the marble making process. All right, there we go. Now, normally I spiral the ends of these. We're not going to do that this time. kind of just blend it around. Create these little micro spirals right there. There we go. All right, we're ready to go. Let's get it made. I think I may actually need the bigger mold. And there's the view we need. So we're going to use the bigger mold. I just changed it over. Let's go. It's definitely grown to be a bigger marble. You can kind of see it dripping down on its own. That's okay. That's perfect. It's perfectly fine doing that. It's just pulling all the color front and center. When was the last time I made a small? That's a good question, Kevin. I try so hard to keep marbles small, and it's like, this was originally, I was thinking, my first couple marbles tonight, I was thinking, man, maybe I'll make them 1.5 inches. Yeah. Only off by 1 inch. Okay, we're doing great. Yeah. This is looking really, really cool. I'm going to have to show it to you. We're going to let it cool just a little bit. I'm going to kick the flame down so I'm not like wasting a ton of gas here. Let's bring it over. And there we are. All right. Again, this is where we get into the reveal part. Now, it's not going to show everything yet. We're not quite showing everything yet. Did I tell you it was going to be cool or what? And you guys haven't even begun to see the end result. Yeah, this is just the beginning of this one, as far as the colors. All the colors are on, but what they do, yeah, we're just now beginning. Okay, we're going to punty up to the back end up here. Well, not back end, the other side. There's no front and back. No front and back, there just is. Fingers are cramping. Okay, we're going to separate this one. We might have to add some clear to the end of this. In fact, I think we probably will because we're pretty close up to the opals here. And I want to kind of gap that a little bit. I want to create a little bit more separation on these opals. Some more depth. So we're going to come around. I'm going to show you the dichro and the opals so far. And we'll bring it here. Okay, we got the dichro. Again, this is in its rough stage right now. This isn't final stage. Okay. And then we got the galaxy look going on. And you can see a little bit of the green in the opals coming out. They're not magnified right now, and that's why they're not showing up as well. There they are, right at the top. Okay, so let's get this thing magnified and built. And here we go. There's my huckleberry. Let's go. It literally rounded it off. Look at that. It did it perfect. I'm not kidding. That was like the best I could have asked for. Okay, time to start adding the clear. We're definitely going to magnify this thing up. Yeah, this is, holy man, this is getting very big. At some point, we're going to be pushing close to 3 inches here. I think I'm going to, yeah, we definitely don't want to go too much. But I won't stop till I make sure those opals are magnified. Yeah, we're good. Now they look really good in there. I'm super happy. This is where they need to be, what they need to look like. Looks like I'm going to be ordering more crushed opal. So right now we got it in the weeble wobble stage. Let me zoom in so you guys get a little better view. There we go. We'll bring it in just a little bit. We'll use the filter so you guys can see a little bit. I don't know how well this is going to show up. We got a little bit of filtering going on. Ooh, that's hot. So that's the radiating heat coming off of this marble. Yeah, this is very, very cool looking. All right, we're going to pop back out. So we're going to be bouncing in the marble mold quite a bit. So I'm going to pop back out so you guys can watch that go on. So we'll be going into the marble mold quite a bit. And that's kind of a cool feature to watch. I always enjoy, I think watching the glass flow through the marble mold is very relaxing. Yeah, we're doing good. Just trying to close the gap in between where the color is and the clear, where the dichro, the clear, and the opals are versus the actual raw color. Just trying to close that gap up. All right. Let's taper it down a little bit on the flame. Put a little more focus in the middle. The ends are good right at the moment. Yeah, this is so far every marble tonight, the marbles we've done have been absolutely outstanding. Very happy. This is going to be another one. Just definitely want to get some photographs of these. This particular fire version has been on my mind for a very long time. Like this style. Okay, we are looking great. Going to bring it over to the side. Again, we're going to show you progress as we go through. You can even see, look, you don't even need the flashlight. That's all on its own. And here comes. Now you can see those opals bouncing through. And we're still have a lot to go for color to pop out. But look at that. It doesn't even need the light source. All right, let's repunty to the other side. Yeah, it really doesn't need a light source, literally. Like an extra flashlight, is what I was saying. Okay, we're going to detach here. Got to spend a little time, get this all round. We're going to pull this little nub on the bottom here off. This will definitely throw all the colors off. That little bit of clear. You'll just see this one clear magnified spot, and then the rest of it won't look good. Red Squeak, thank you so much for the roses. What are they? The hearts, too. Oh my God, thank you, Red Squeak. And the league ball. How was I going to do this? Nope, no. All right, so let's get this all rounded out. I was going to show you the side view, sorry, one last time here. So before we get too far, you can see that, just that chaos going. I told you it'd look cool. This is always the shock. Let's get it. Let's feed it. Yeah, this one's actually very, very beautiful. They all are. I mean, most of the people know that if I don't like something, it ends up in the water bucket. Even though there are people that say, oh, I would love to have it if you're going to throw it away, but I don't want it out there. I'd rather water bucket something, turn it to frit, and make it into something else. Yeah, this color combo in this particular design, this style it's been in my head for a while. And I didn't have any intention on doing it tonight. This is like a happy little experiment. My Bob Ross moment. Happy little marble. And just come on, go a little bit further. I really need this to melt down. So the problem on a marble like this, so like the crayon colors, all those reds and yellows and oranges on the side, on the one side of it, they move a little slower, meaning they flow slower than all the clear on the other side. So when you're doing this, you have glass, one part flowing really fast, the other part going, no, I don't feel like moving. It's kind of like if you had two kids. One of them was in a 5-year-old that was past their terrible twos, and then you had one that was terrible twos. And you know what that's like? Well, the orange and yellows are the terrible twos. Yeah, we're pretty close. We're very close to finishing this now. There's a little gap in the middle. I'm going to work on getting that out right now. Just use a little more focused flame instead of the completely large one. We'll just let the glass flow a little bit. A little bit more of a focused flame right in the middle. Right at that seam. All right, we're almost there. We're good. Yeah, we're good. I'm going to have to bring out the extra mold again. Bring this one out. So you can't see the other mold that I just brought out just because they're so hot. This top mold is so hot. If I touch it with my bare hands, I will burn like hell. But I need to use a smaller mold diameter over here. So I just had to park it next to it and deal with it. Okay, so we're perfect on this end now. We're done on this side. We're going to put a punty to it. And when we're completely done with the marble, we will knock it off. So we're going to let it cool. I'm going to show you guys the section before we get too far. We're going to wait for the amber purple to really strike in later tonight. But so far, I'm pretty happy with the colors. And here we go. It's just going to get better and better and better. Those colors are going to get better, better, and better. As it cools off and sits in the kiln, we're going to see lots of different variations of this, especially up in this area right in here. Thank you, Red Squeak, by the way. Okay, yeah, that is definitely going to have a lot of color running through it. Okay, we're going to do last punty on here. There we go. We're going to smooth everything up here out, and this will be done. This is that scary point at which the marble is teetering on the last little rod here. And again, if it falls, it's not harming me. I'm not in danger. It just sucks to clean up after the fall, but it happens. If you make marbles for a living, you know that's just going to happen eventually. All right. Oh, I don't even want to rotate it that way. Yeah, we're looking fantastic here. Last little bit, smooth everything out. All right, now on this particular marble, we're going to add a little bit of borax to it, right around the seam and where the clear and the colors are bouncing in between there. You know how the borax changes the colors of the fume? It changes this as well by a slight amount. So we're going to just add a tiny, tiny little borax around the edge. I don't want to even use that. So we can get an extra set of colors in there. What's up, Dale? Okay, there's the borax. Perfect. Yeah, it definitely changed the color. You're going to see right around the edge when I pop the light on it, right at the border of where the clear and the color are. You're going to see just got a little bit different right there. A little cleaner. And there is the galaxy. This thing is going to look super fantastic as soon as it cools off. I cannot wait to see it, actually. I almost like it with the light off. It looks really freaking cool that way. I don't know. That one, I like it better almost like that. I don't know. Okay, and we are going to grab Dragonfly Creations amazing marble holders. Pop it back out. There we go. And go to full window. We're already there. And then we grip it, let it cool for a second, and then tap. Off it comes. Yeah, it looks pretty fantastic. I mean, just look at that from this distance. It is stunning. And then when the colors finally come into play in the back, wow. Yeah, this is a beautiful piece as well. Yeah, very happy. They look good. All right, that is 3.5 hours of straight streaming. So obviously I'm poopered. Thank you guys for all the purchases. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for everything tonight. I've had a very wonderful time hanging out with all of you. Yeah, 3.5 hours. Woo! Oh, thank you, Marble Maker. I appreciate that. Anyway, I'm going to go get some rest. All right, Daisy Girl. Anyways, thank you guys. YouTube, thank you. Dragonfly, Red Squeak, Groves, Cruising, John, all the mods. Thank you so much. Bayo, thank you for all the super chats, by the way. You're awesome. In the memberships, Bayo. Appreciate you. And yeah, we'll